Hey man, it's Jamie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Just got out of the woods. Headed back to the house. Tell me a little bit about what happened this morning.
Okay, so my buck come out and came down the hill, and I told him just let him get a little closer. He was probably, I'd say he's probably 80 yards maybe.
Right.
80 to 90. And I told him, wait till he turned broadside, and he turned broadside. And I grunted, he stopped, and I told him, be careful, squeeze the trigger, and he did. And he jumped. I mean, it looked like how they jump when you hit a lung shot, like the jump kick, take off. And I first went up there, I just couldn't. I went back and forth up the trail, didn't find any blood. But the sun was coming up, and I couldn't see, which we let him sit probably 30 minutes. We had a couple of days came out. But anyway, so I went back and got my hat out the truck, came back in, and we were circling a little bit in the woods inside where he went, and I found blood in the woods. Well, then I started following a trail, followed blood, and I found blood, and there's another bush hog path, and he crossed that bush hog path, blood going across, and it was red blood, and then it got a little darker, so there was some dark blood, and it looked like where he kind of fell. You could see where he kind of hit the ground, and there was blood. And I told him just stay right there, and I'd keep walking up, easing up a little bit, and find more blood. But when I did, I went easing up a little bit, and I saw the deer's rack, and I thought he was kind of just like up against the brush pile like he was dead. Well, I took another step just to be certain, and when I took another step, he jumped up. Well, I just couldn't really get a shot.
I got you.
And then I just kind of backed out from that point.
How far has he gone to that first bed?
Probably, I would say it's probably 100 yards maybe through there.
Okay, so not far at all.
Yeah.
I got you. What'd he shoot him with?
It's a 7.62 by 39.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I mean, but my dad's killed several deer with that round, and he's never had any issues.
Right.
I'm just thinking maybe he hit him a little far back. I mean, it was the first deer he's ever shot at. But we shot yesterday afternoon, and he was shooting great. So
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I track a lot of first deer for kids, and they always aim center mass. It's like every deer that I find for a kid has been hit right through the middle of the body. It's like they can't get away from it. But no, it's fine. How much ground y'all got down there?
So we've got 80 acres, but the neighbors around are cool.
Okay.
So neighbor next to us has got 2,000. That's actually the direction he headed.
Okay.
And then there's, other than that, I mean, it's pretty much, that's it. I mean, that pretty much covers that road there.
Yeah, I got you. Wait, if y'all want to try him here in about an hour or so, that'd be fine. I think I'm about 50 minutes from y'all. But I can go load the dog up, and I can head down that way. I was going to try to get back in time to let my wife hunt this evening. She's got a little spot close to home, but if I can be home by 3 o'clock or so, she should be fine. I think we'll have time to do that. But I guess just send me a text with where you want me to meet you at, and I'll load him up, and we'll head that way here shortly.
Okay, if you just want to meet me right where I sent you that pinpoint, that was right at the gate.
Okay. So. Sounds good. All right, man, I'll holler at you.
Thank you.
All right, bye. What's up, man? I'm good.
So we want to drive on in there towards where we can.
That'd be fine.
It's a good flat road. It's no.
Let's do it. I'll follow you in there.
Shot him from this stand here.
Okay.
So he shot him down that lane.
Right.
Now we tracked him to right at this tree line. It goes this way.
Yeah.
So we tracked him to that lane. So that's where we had the blood, and where we jumped him was on the woods. That's where we found the blood through the woods.
I got you.
And you actually, we last found blood on that other lane over there.
Okay.
And that's where I jumped him on the other side of that.
Gotcha. Well, let's go see if we can find him. Bryer, good to meet you, brother.
Good to meet you too.
First deer, huh? You pretty pumped?
Yep.
Hopefully find him. Yeah, I don't know if you want to walk that lane over there, so just let him take where he shot him.
Yeah, we'll start him at the beginning. He'll probably get on him before I get there.
Okay.
Hold on. Go ahead. Let's go find him. If you don't mind me videoing it.
Oh, not at all.
Because if it turns out pretty cool, I'll put it together for y'all and he'll have it. Remember, what are we looking for today?
He is, I'd say he's at least a 6.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I didn't look through any kind of scope or anything. And he wasn't really looking for points. When I saw the spread come out, I told him.
And shoot him.
Which he was planning on shooting a buck. So
I wouldn't care if I was you.
No. Side of this little patch of blood. We were actually making a loop in there, and I found blood on the other side of this little patch of woods. Going, and I told Bryer, I said, you know, if we a lot of times you can circle and just find blood.
Yep.
And, man, we did. We were just walked down a trail, and there it was.
Did you when you ran off? Could you see a hole in him?
I couldn't see anything honestly. When he was behind some it's like taller pines over there, but it's thinned out.
Yeah.
And he was behind some thick stuff, and that's when I just saw his rack, and I just thought he was kind of laid like this with his head propped up. And I should have just put the scope on him and looked better, but when I took a step like that, he got up, and I just couldn't. I was trying to get a shot.
Was he moving good, or?
I mean, he was going. It wasn't like he was
limping or
say he was falling over or anything like that, but he had definitely laid down twice. I mean, he laid down, I felt like right at the road.
Yeah.
And then that lane, and then he laid down over there a little further.
I got you. There's some right there. A tiny drop. I mean, that looks like a bed.
Yeah, that's where I said I thought he bedded down. Yeah.
I mean, that does look like a bed.
Yeah, I thought he bedded down here, and then I jumped him up again. Where I jumped him, I told Bryer to wait here where I found that last blood. And I went up there about probably 30 yards, and that's where somewhere, I can't even remember where it was.
I mean, that blood right there hasn't been dropped from very far. He matted that down laying on it.
Okay.
I would assume. I mean, that to me looks like a bed.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I want to say he was somewhere right at the middle when I saw it.
Okay.
I got a little quicker, I wasn't sure if he went that way or
Spud right there. It's so daggum dry. It's like these tracks are sometimes taking longer than they should because everything's just super dry.
Yeah.
But he was definitely laying down when you saw him?
Yes, he was laying down. He was laying down behind this stuff. It was here or here, I can't remember, but see, I could see, it was like he was laid back like this, and I could see his head.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know how deer sometimes will pile up.
Right.
And I thought he's dead. Well, instead of putting the scope, I kind of looked at him again. I kind of took a step, and I took a step.
I got you. Spud was saying he was right here somewhere. He went down there and kind of angled off. He's got a good line on him, but he's kind of going off to the right.
Yeah.
87 yards right there.
Did you get an elk when you went up there?
There's your deer. He's still alive. I just heard the deer get up. Let's hope he bays him up. I knew the deer was here. I turned my camera on because I heard Spud make a loop, and deer was bedded right there. But he's still alive. I think he's got him bayed now. This thing should say treed. Yeah, he's on point. So y'all stay with me. If I tell you to stop back, I may slide in there and shoot him, okay, but we'll get him. So that deer was still alive. He's bedded twice, and Spud just jumped him 200 yards after the second bed. He's got him bayed up. So we're gonna try to ease in here and put another bullet in him. So he didn't go too far in bay, so he's probably hurt pretty bad. I hope we can get this taken care of real quick.
Thank you so much. He said this is at least the third deer that Spud's found he's mounted. He knows it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, no. This is an old deer.
Yeah.
And he's super
Yeah,
thin.
see, on the paper, I thought he had a big neck and looked like he, you know, kind of.
He just run down the back.
He's back in there, bro.
Were you excited? You don't show emotion like I do? Like you don't get all bent out of shape like I do? Oh man, that's a good first deer.
Yeah, when he killed his first rabbit, I think I was more fired up than he was.
Golly. I still remember my first rabbit, probably more, just about as much as my first deer.
Yeah. His first rabbit was flying. I mean, dogs were hammering right behind it, and he just folded him up and it was perfect. Let's get a picture off.
Hold on, Spud, now come on now. Come on now, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't flip him all over. Hey, speak to him. Tell him something. Hey, speak to him. Speak. Hey, give me a shake. Attaboy. Yeah, I think, so he shot him on the left front.
Yeah.
Bullet looked like it entered right there.
Okay.
But that right front shoulder is broke. And I don't think my high shoulder shot would have done it.
Okay. Yeah, so he came out, and when he turned broadside, yeah, he was quartered towards us, and he kind of turned a little bit. Did I grunt that time to make him stop? Okay, I thought I was thinking of it.
Yeah, when he was running off, this leg was broke.
Yeah.
Why it's broke, I'm not certain.
Unless it hit something and fragmented off him or something.
But that bullet's in his chest. That's the reason he wasn't wanting to go nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know that deer survives.
Yeah. It's a big, nice deer, Bryer. Dang.
He went 100 yards to first bed, maybe 20 more yards, and then 140. So he only went 250 yards before he... Hey, don't tear his cape up. I said don't tear his cape up. Well, no. So we just wrapped that track up. Hey, easy, buddy. Easy. We just got him out of the woods and back to the road, and not a bad shot. Deer was hit quarter in two, kind of in the brisket right in front of the shoulder, but the bullet went and broke the offside shoulder, and I could feel the bullet. It was down in the armpit. Deer was pretty bloodshot. He went 100 yards to the first bed. He got up and moved 20 yards, and that's where he tracked him to and jumped him. Deer didn't bleed very much at all, just a pinhole on the going in, no exit. And we found that first bed. It was obviously a bed. From there, he bumped him out of that bed 20 yards further, and the deer went maybe another 100. And Spud jumped him and ran him about 120 and bayed him up. And he broke bay once, and I was able to slip in on the second bay and actually get a good shot on him. But he, probably 3.5-year-old, would have been an 8-point. I think he's got a broke tine, but super tickled for the young man. That's his first deer, and we love finding first deer, especially whenever they're gonna die. And that deer was destined for a a long and slow death. So I'm glad we were able to finish that for him and get it taken care of. And we're gonna head home, and I think the wife's making some soup tonight. We're gonna sit around the fire and probably wait on another call to come in. But that was a fun adventure. I'm glad the kid got to experience that. I'm glad his dad got to experience it, and we're gonna head home and get things settled up and hopefully be after another one this evening. But thank y'all for watching. Spud, you wanna tell him bye?